Life doesn't come with a grading rubric.
Unmarked is an open conversation between two international teachers meddling through their life,
Love,
and purpose far from home.
no edits.
No filters.
This is Unmarked.
Hello. This is episode 15.
Yes, and it's a special one considering it will be International Women's Day. So this episode is all about celebrating women.
Strong, powerful women and supporting women. And there
And
will
us.
be and us. There will be very special segment today. So stay with us. Stay with us. How are you?
It's PDC next week, and if you're not a teacher, PDC stands for Parent Teacher Conference.
Which also AKA for being tired, annoyed, and very,
But
very
I kind
frustrated.
of enjoy it.
I would enjoy it if it would be just one day instead of 3 days after work.
Yeah.
For 2 more hours you would stay and talk. And also our Monday, Tuesdays are pretty rough.
I can imagine, like, after school, our hair would already be
Yeah,
jutting
yeah.
out, and then we
Yeah.
have to talk to parents.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I don't know how many cups of coffee I have to take because I feel like I'll just be drained.
Maybe you'll need more than coffee.
I told this once to my principal in my previous school, said, what if instead of those water boxes that we have, let's just put wine there? Everyone's going to be happy about that. Parents will be happy. Obviously, I'm joking, okay? But you know what? Later we can suggest that.
You'll have to open your own school.
No, that will be weird type of school. But hey, you know what? It's fine. I'm happy.
Yeah.
The sun's shining. Last week was productive. Yeah?
Very, extremely.
I'm so proud of myself. Are you proud of yourself?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I got so much
What time
done.
did you go home on Thursday?
I actually finished work at 5+, but I continued because I went to a restaurant and finished up my notes for the parent-teacher conference.
The whole week, I was going to school at 6:30 in the morning. And I
yeah,
realized we're both weirdo because you stay after school
Yeah,
and I
prefer
go
after.
in the dawn.
Yeah.
Once I came, the guard was sleeping.
I can't make myself wake up that early.
I was so
Like
productive.
yesterday,
Yeah.
I said, I arrived early, but my definition of early is 7:30.
I already finished half. Actually, in the morning, I am most productive, and I finished like Friday. By 7:30, I was done with all of my tasks, with all of the to-do lists. And I
Yeah.
told you earlier, right? I think people have to investigate what happens to a person when you look at your to-do list and you tick those things that you've done. It brought me so much joy, Carol. I was like, anyways,
But
what does it say about us?
I don't know.
Workaholics?
Workaholics, definitely. The tasks that I have been doing this week, it's not just like checklist tasks, but there was a lot of like emotional tasks.
Emotional. Explain that.
Yeah,
What is
like
it?
I spent quite a lot of time on other classes as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
to support like the other teachers.
Yeah.
And I think I feel more tired because of that.
Yeah.
And then all of my classes tasks had to be pushed after school. Yeah. Not really complaining. I mean, it was a good week. Everyone turned out happy. So
Yeah.
I'm happy too. But I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I really felt this slump. And I went to bed at 9 p.m.
Well, I was
That's
already
early for me.
sleeping.
I usually go to bed at 10:30. So 9 is early.
Yeah. Last week is actually showing how strong we are. What I want to say is that my mom always tells me that what you're going through, not everyone will be able to do so. Not a single man usually would be able to do things that you do. You know, moving across, starting a new job, not knowing people, not knowing language. It's a really difficult task to do. And I think we should start this episode after yapping with celebrating each other and like really being proud of how far we've come.
Talking about femininity and like being a woman, yesterday night I was binge watching Bridgerton while painting my nails. One of my colleagues gave me a blue
I just wanted to say
I've never done blue nails.
It's not your color.
Yeah,
but
I feel
I
a bit
like
strange. But yeah, so I'm
gives me
trying
a little bit
different
of
color.
diving vibes. Hey,
Wet season. Bridgerton, it is a fantastical world, but
Yes.
it does make me think about how it used to be like for women, they're just all dressed up to marry a rich guy, basically.
That reminds me, you know Cher, the singer? So when she was young, they asked her a question in the interview like, why not get married? Because she had a lot of boyfriends, whatever. You have to find a man. And then she said, you know what? I'm going to tell you one thing. My mom always told me that you have to find a rich man. And then, hey, look at me. I am a rich man. And I am also rewatching the series that I saw judgment in your eyes when I told you what the show was. It's called Desperate Housewives. Classic. And it's also there, the same
The
idea
theme, yeah.
that you have to be a perfect wife, a perfect mother, and basically just be perfect. Everything has to be done, even though they show different female there. I'm sure in Bridgerton is the same.
Yeah.
You know, those who are more feminine, those who are housewives but also working with kids. And I think it's just so important to actually address that and talk about that, not only specifically on the International Women's Day, but
Yeah, but
generally
all the time.
have time to have this conversation.
I especially appreciated one of the parts. I remember that there was a scene showing this, it's supposed to be the antagonist, so a lady called Araminta, and it shows her explaining why she has become so mean. And I think it's true, like it's the society that decides what is the mold that all these women should fit in, right? And people would do anything to fit into that mold. Of course, there are rebels,
Yeah.
right? But then some people with fewer resources are still forced into that mold.
Yeah. That makes me think about how sometimes, especially in the movies, you see it, how they show feminine friendship or girls, how they communicate and also how they fight. And how, you know, Mean Girls, for example, the movie, right? I don't think that's the thing that we have to, I mean, I don't even find it funny when I see, let's say in the show or in the movie, when girls are fighting or when there is some kind of a
Rivalry.
Yeah. Because you would never see that with men. I mean, you
That's
would,
true.
but it's just a completely different type of a movie.
They would get into a physical fight and then they would be friends.
Yeah. But with girls, it's somehow always, they try to portray it as funny. And then there will always be the one who is a bad character. You know, like evil one.
Like you have to tear another person down
Yeah.
in order to be successful yourself.
True.
Right.
It's not like that in real life. When you were a student, did you see those examples when, like in these shows, they portray this mean girls, the club of the girls who like
Of
bully?
course.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
Tell me
why I
more.
don't really believe in female friends initially.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Good that you said it now.
there is so much competition inside the group, within that group, even if it's subtle.
Do you think it changes?
Yeah. As I grew up and I met older women who are more matured, they're happy with themselves.
Yeah.
Then the competition ceases.
True.
But then when everyone was unhappy, you know, you're at that growing phase, hormonal phase, then you get a lot of this jealousy or competition, be it for beauty or for academics or for
Yeah.
whatever else.
I honestly think it doesn't stop. I think it's not connected to the gender. It's more whether you are at peace with yourself or not.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
also I know a lot of examples of women older who are also jealous, who are also very
That's true.
competitive. I had examples vice versa when I met women older than me in my life, and they were very envious towards me. I think it's really not gender thing.
A person thing.
Yeah.
And I used to think that strength as a woman would come from being different I don't need makeup. I have to be as strong as the boys, I have to be aggressive. As time passes, I'm realizing that no, I want those things too.
Yeah.
But strength means knowing when I can be soft and when I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When growing up, we had conversations with my mom about feminism and International Women's Day. It was for our family very important day. Not also because it's my dad's birthday coming up soon, but literally, me and my mom, we would talk and she would tell me some stories from her youth when she was growing up. And obviously, I would share something. And I realized one thing is that I misunderstood this word feminism to a certain point when I was like 17, 18-year-old. And I heard the saying that feminism is considered to be you hate men, right?
Yeah, it's getting more and more.
Yeah, I was in that kind of state of mind. Like you say, you wanted to be more not like others, but in my head, I saw it as, you know what, these are all because of men. Like they have more power. And I had that always in my head until the moment when I realized, no, that's actually not about that at all. It's more about everyone should be equal, everyone should have same perks. But what do you think?
I think it's just having choice.
True.
Freedom of choice.
Yeah. I think it's also very much important where we are born and how we are developing in the world, because in Malaysia, it's Muslim country prevailing with men still having more power, more voice. What do you think? Did it influence your views of how you see this world or how you see yourself?
I actually don't think it does affect it that much. And my family was pretty open in that. I grew up knowing that I can be whatever I want to be, right? What really influenced me was actually media. So, like,
In a
the
good way or
shows
bad
that
way?
you see, it's not good or bad. It's just a matter of every time you see a woman successful, they would be dressed in a very masculine way. They are not embracing the softer side of them. And actually, I remember the first show that I really saw. Oh, the protagonist actually enjoys all these girly things, but she's also strong, was the Queen's Gambit. I was so surprised when they made the choice to let her go shopping for clothes and stuff. And yeah, I'm like, okay, this is a bit different.
Luckily, it's changing now in the
Yeah, it
media.
is.
Also, you can see it in social media, how the role of this, because, okay, let's be honest, 2015, feminism, it was really a girl who basically has very strict views. She's dressing up very masculine. She's very strong.
Career,
Yeah, very
corporate
career
woman.
oriented, not maternal at all. Now, luckily, well, first of all, it was never like that the case. It was just the image. Now it's changing.
I think now we're understanding that there are many facades.
If I support women, it doesn't mean I have to hate the other gender. It doesn't mean I have to dress up masculine. You know what I'm trying to say? Or at the same time, if I don't want to have kids, doesn't mean there is something wrong with me. Because that was, I think, how it was portrayed back in the days.
Yeah, I see it as people having choice.
True.
Yeah. Because once you are free to make choices, then you get a variety of people, like a variety of women who shows their strength in different ways.
True.
Yeah, be it you're a homemaker or a career woman or both, like a working mom.
Yeah. I do think it really matters where we are, because there are certainly places in the world where it's not so open, not so celebrated. And just the other day I was talking about this with my friend. She was concerning about places where Islamic men are very masculine, very strict towards their women. And then I was trying to explain that it has nothing to do with religion, first of all. And obviously there are places where religion takes place, and yeah, it's important to follow the rules. But still, it comes from the person within. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We are lucky that we are now in Mongolia
Yeah.
because women here are actually super strong.
Yep, I remember asking some of our local colleagues, and they say that women over here share equal status and power
True.
as the men.
Yeah. Also, the traditional dance in Mongolia, it's absolutely no difference between the male movements. They move a lot of their shoulders and they stomp their feet very loud, which says a lot about how they see women in Mongolian life. Whilst in, Cambodia, for example, if you look at their national dance, it's very feminine, very beautiful, but also it shows how they see women.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
think it
saying?
was the first few weeks I pointed it out to Nicola as well. I'm like, think back to Southeast Asia
Yeah.
or Asia, East Asia, most of them, where dances are usually so flowy, so soft for the females, for the women.
Whilst here,
Yeah, whilst here it's the same, more or less. I mean, there are a few different dance steps, but they move their bodies in the same way.
I think we saw it when kids were dancing in our school, and I was like, wow, look at that.
It was
Amazing.
definitely not a display of softness.
Sure.
It was a display of
Equality.
life. Life, like the dynamic.
True. How do we address this topic of equality, of celebrating both genders to the kids? Because we are working with young minds, basically.
I think it seeps into every day. I very rarely give blanket comments about like girls or boys. I would just say names so that they don't have this idea
True.
in their minds that they are different.
True.
Yep. There are always girls that are cheeky and boys that are doing well too. It really seeps into every day. And
How we talk.
I don't really say, oh, like boys, you should open doors or whatever.
Yeah.
Because if they want to, they can. If they don't want to, I mean, it's up to them.
I only address it in a way that everyone has to be a gentleman if I'm talking to the boys.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just behave gross, but it has nothing to do with the gender. They can burp, and I say, hey, you know what? Be a gentleman.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
That's
when-
for everyone.
Yeah, but then when girls, for example, she can get up in the middle of the class and she can pull her skirt and fix her tights, I say, no, ladies don't do that. I don't know whether that's correct words that I'm using, gentlemen or ladies, but I'm trying to also teach them manners. I don't know.
I do correct them on those as well, but I just told them, keep it covered. But then the same goes for boys because they run around in their
True.
undies
True.
and then they don't want to put their pants on.
Yeah, they look. Boys really have absolutely no
Yeah,
problems.
I'm like,
Running
wear your
in the
pants
underwear.
and skirts.
Yeah, come on, put it on.
When boys are showing emotions in class, I don't comment.
It's mainly boys who
Yeah.
are showing emotions.
Yeah.
Girls kind of keep it to themselves.
Yeah. In fact, sometimes I do encourage it, and when girls are showing that they are very confident, yeah.
True.
So no difference.
Yeah. No difference. Absolutely.
We're also talking about role models. Like,
Oh,
did you have any particularly strong female role models in your life?
Ukrainian women generally have a lot in common with Mongolian women. We also have stories when women have to take care of the house when men go to war, especially now. So growing up, again, for me, that was always clear that my mom is strong because she had career. She was a professor at uni, and then she had 2 kids. So obviously we knew because of my dad, he was still the main source of finance in our family. Still growing up, seeing her combining all of these areas, house is clean. We always had so many things to do after school, and she would also have a career in uni. It was like a nice picture growing up. But I think it actually kind of messed up with me because growing up with a strong woman, I realized that I am now strong as well. You don't have to be strong all the time. For my mom, it was never a choice. She had to be strong no matter what. But now I see maybe that is not always good, because I also need to be a little bit weak with the right man. Does it make sense?
I think it does, because if someone gives you enough sense of security, then they make the decisions, right?
Yeah.
And you would be comfortable with it.
Yeah. You can take care of yourself. You are an individual person. You are not dependent on anything or anyone. But in case there is someone,
You want to be able to rely on
Yeah.
someone. Yeah.
Speaking about leadership, I think this will be better covered in our next surprise segment.
we are going to invite a guest, first ever guest in Unmarked podcast. It is our principal,
Our junior school.
our junior school
head,
principal. She is a young woman in the senior leadership team in our school. And I think she might be the right person to talk about what it's like to get to that point. So I'm excited.
Me
We're
too.
gonna see how we're gonna squish in this couch. It's not just two of us anymore. So stay with us.
Grab a coffee. See you soon.
This is Unmarked.
Right, welcome back to the Unmarked section. This is a special one because we have a guest.
Yay! Ta-da!
Finally.
This is our lovely principal, head of junior school, and our dear friend, Miss Tama.
Hi. So excited to be here.
How
you
are
might not
you?
know this, but I'm a listener, like
Oh.
a serious listener, every episode from day one. So I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you very much.
Now she gets to see our controversial setup.
I'm impressed. It's actually like a true fanhood. And you're kind of my comfort podcasters because you're the only podcast I listen to that isn't terrifying. I usually listen to like true crime, ghost podcasts.
We can be
so
friends. Do you listen to true crime podcasts?
Well, no. Sometimes I like when it's something with the story behind, but it really needs to be in the right mood. But Carol does like that, so you two can. You know,
love
I do.
them.
at some point, I'll just go and you talk. But let me just start with that. Would you introduce yourself? Would you tell like a short story about yourself? What are you doing here? Basically, how did you end up being in Mongolia? Too?
Okay, yes. So, long story short, I've been here a long time now. I keep losing track of the number, but it is around 7 to coming on 9 years that I've been in Mongolia. Wow. On and off, of course, back and forth, and there was some like complication in the middle, but I moved here for personal reasons at first. I just loved Mongolia. I loved the Mongolian people. And then I kind of stuck around and I found myself in this amazing place. And it really, I think, I could not have achieved what I've achieved anywhere else in the way that I achieved it and so quickly as well. So I'm always so thankful to Mongolia. And I feel like it's given me so much. It has given me some hard life lessons, that's for sure, but I've also been, I want to say, blessed and gifted by this place. I love the people, I love the culture, I don't love the weather, but that's okay, it makes up for it in other
one
ways.
does.
And
We don't either.
No, I hate the weather. I grew up in the desert, and the first time I felt minus 40 was maybe the worst moment of my life.
But here it's
Like,
kind of
maybe.
desert too.
It's a desert, but it's a freezing
desert.
desert, and it hurts.
Yeah.
If anyone's never felt minus 40 in their lungs, I really don't recommend it.
It hurts.
Avoid it if you can.
It hurts.
The first time I came in the winter, like I came out of the airport, I'd never seen snow, nothing, and it was minus 40 outside, and that first breath in your lungs is like,
It hurts.
what is this? What's happening?
It's heavy, right?
Yes.
But Tama, you were mentioning that you grew up in a different culture.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
And because today's episode is about celebrating women, about femininity, we were wondering what's your view on it?
Well, controversial takes. I grew up in the Middle East, more specifically in Dubai. So I was actually born and raised there. I stayed there until the minute I turned 18, basically. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that culture, and especially like women in the Middle East, in Islamic culture and stuff. I have a very different view on it because I lived it for so many years. And I am definitely aware that perhaps it was a more modern culture in the UAE and Dubai. But I think people oftentimes think that women are oppressed and treated unfairly and almost like prisoners in their homes. But I see it as the opposite. Growing up there taught me the value of a woman and femininity and how important it is. And I almost see it as that culture down to its core. Of course, it's not perfect, but they do a really good job of preserving that and nurturing that in women. There are some not so great things about it. Everything is give and take, but I think that's where I learned how amazing it is to be a woman. And really, that's where I started to feel lucky that I was born a woman, you know?
That's a nice
Yeah,
take.
for sure. A lot of people think being a woman in the Middle East is like, that's it.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
were just talking about there are places where religion takes place and it's important, but also it comes from the man, from the person, whether you are like that or not.
For sure. It's like, I would say it's not so much oppression, but separation for sure. It's not a mixed society. I did go to a mixed school, but my first school actually was a girls' school. And honestly, it was more tumultuous in the girls' school, and there was more drama and male involvement in the girls' school than there was in the mixed school, you know? So I think that separation is also what nurtures that femininity because you're surrounded by women, your aunts and your cousins and your friends and everyone. Like, women surround each other, they hold each other, they keep space for each other. And I think that's so beautiful because honestly, men love you and everything, but you don't need to be around all the time.
It's a big but.
Exactly.
That's
Y'all are
true.
all right, I guess.
Especially seeing all the women, generations of women sometimes in the kitchen, all sharing stories and like,
Yapping.
I can also say, honestly, plotting. Like,
Yeah. You mentioned that you were surrounded by cousins and relatives. Have you had a strong figure of a woman in your life who would show this role model of what it's like to be a strong woman?
oh, for sure. I have maybe the strongest woman in my life. It's my mom. My mom is, I can't describe her as any other way besides like an iron woman. Like, she is the epitome of resilience and strength and intelligence. She's so smart. Everything I am is because of her, honestly. Perhaps I am just her mirror. Maybe
So sweet.
my mom is not like the typical housewife. She's worked from the day I was born. I think she's worked pretty much every day of her life since the minute she turned 18.
curious, was she also in education?
She is education. So my mom, she started out as a teacher. She worked in schools. Then she became a university professor. And then now she works more so in like education research and like teacher training and things like that. So she's like a teacher of teachers, a super teacher.
Did it influence your choice of what you eventually become in your life?
So it's a funny story because growing up, I was always like, I will be anything but a teacher.
It always starts like that.
Anything but a teacher because I had a really hard time in school, like a very difficult time in school. And I think it was hard too because my mom was a teacher and I think my mom also felt this pressure to have a very good product, but unfortunately that's just not what I was. The other three, they did all right, but I'm the oldest.
I like how you say product.
Well, that's what it is, isn't it?
It is true. It is true.
But yeah, I really struggled in school. I did not have good grades. I repeated grades a couple of times. I did end up graduating. I did what I had to do, but it wasn't great, honestly. And so growing up, I hated school. Okay, I liked a few of my teachers, but the idea of a teacher annoyed me a little bit.
Okay, you can be honest, you know, they will listen to it. So it's okay.
Sorry, guys. It's kind of true. I know it's so ironic. And I think also when you're a teenager, you just want to rebel, right? You want to be anything other than what your parents are. So I was so adamant. I was like, I will do anything but be a teacher. But there was this other side to me. I'm an older sister, and I have 3 younger siblings, and I have tons of little cousins. And so I was like the automatic babysitter, and I had no choice but to be really good with kids. And I loved being around kids, and I did start feeling, the closer and closer I got to graduation, and you need to choose your major and everything. I was like, gosh, I really like being around kids, and it's kind of fun to help them learn things.
I have to admit it. I want to be a teacher.
I had to admit it. So I did end up choosing education as my major, but I was like, but I'm going to do something else. This is just a starter. I won't work in a school.
But hey, maybe it's because of your experience that it gave you a different perspective of what schools can be.
Definitely.
yeah.
Or should be, you know,
should
because
be, yeah.
you said that you were not happy there. Maybe that's why you were like, okay, I will be the one starting changing things.
I wish it was that, honestly. It was the case of like, I wanted to go so far away from it that it was like a 360 and I came right back, you know?
From the other side.
Exactly. I came back from the other side. But then once I was in school and I saw like how rewarding this experience actually is, and I started to understand my teachers and my mother a lot more.
When you told your mom that you are doing teacher major or like go into education, I'm just curious what she told you.
It was, of course, and I told you so. I knew it. I always knew it.
She probably saw the teacher in you.
Exactly.
Before you.
It was practically unavoidable. And I don't regret it. It was a long journey here, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
I like how teaching always passes down through the generations. My mom was a teacher too.
Yeah.
And then,
Really?
yeah, my grandma was a teacher too. So I'm from a family
What?
of teachers. And Nika, your
My mom was a crime investigator, but then when she got kids, she went teaching in uni.
Well,
So
here we
I
go.
also was growing up seeing women being a teacher and having a career. So that's interesting actually to think about how that influences us. We were talking about role models earlier. Now you are in Mongolia. Do you think the image of a woman or like a role model of a woman here is different than what you saw in US or in Dubai?
For sure. I would almost say that I find it to be almost quite a matriarchal society here.
Yeah.
Because of the lower life expectation for men. Usually the head of a family is often grandma because the grandfather passes away so quickly. The life expectation for men here is very low, almost 10 years lower than for women's life expectation. So naturally it's women who are left at the top, you know.
is it because of the nature of their job, because they're hurting, or it's the habits?
In a way, I don't know everything. Of course, I'm not Mongolian.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
speak for Mongolians, but I think it is that. And also, it seems like men oftentimes go out and do the more physical jobs, right? When it comes to the normal herder, nomadic lifestyle, of course, everyone contributes, but it's usually the fathers and the sons that go out to get the sheep. I don't know if you guys have been in a nomadic family's gear or anything,
Yeah.
but that's usually what it is. The women stay inside and they do cook, they do clean, but they also handle the animals as well. And I think now in this very modern day city that we live in, it's quite different, but that same expectation stays where women have more of an expectation to go and study and learn and everything. The downtime is there.
Yes.
So that's what they fill it with. They are generally more educated.
I've
right?
actually heard that like more women are in university here
Yes,
than
more
the
women.
men.
I've also heard that when people are living in the countryside, they keep their sons at home to help with the animals, tend to the animals, and learn the nomadic way of life. But then they send
The
their
girls.
daughters to school. Whereas in other parts of the world, it's almost the
Absolutely.
opposite,
Yeah, it's
right?
opposite.
I find that so fascinating, and I love it. Honestly, I think it's the best outcome, frankly, because they could just choose to keep them at home. But I think a lot of that comes from also the socialism and how much, especially in Russia, they valued education. And I think when Russia was here, Mongolia, and they had a lot of influence over the country, it seems like that value was instilled. Education is important. I think a teacher used to be like top of society basically back then.
I was so surprised when I was in a nomadic family's gear, like in the middle of nowhere, and yet this child knew how to speak English. And he says that, we learned it in school.
Yeah, right? Isn't it?
Like,
It's kind of hard these days to find a kid that doesn't speak English. You have to be careful around them. Sometimes I'm in E-Mart and I'm chatting with my friend and the kid's like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
It's like, sorry.
Okay, we are now in Mongolia. You came here. You started as a teacher, and now you are a junior school leader. You are the only female in a senior leadership team.
I am. I'm also
And a young one at
exactly
Yeah.
the youngest.
that. Yeah, both Nika and I, we were thinking how hard it must be for your voice to be heard because you're not only just a woman, but you're young.
Yeah. I wouldn't actually say it's hard because very early on when I realized what was happening and I thought about it for a really long time after the offer, I thought for such a long time, like, how am I going to do this? Because it can be so intimidating. Number one, being young in the workplace is difficult. True. Being young and in management, it's difficult both ways, It's difficult going up to your senior leadership, but then also leading a team as a young person. But then also as a woman who I am very feminine, and I might appear to be very soft and girly, and I am. Yeah. And I really didn't want to sacrifice that. Really early on, I said, I can't change myself. I don't want to give up these things that I think are a big part of my personality, which is having long hair and having my nails done and my 9 lip glosses on my desk and all my high heels and
Dresses.
I really didn't want to give it up, but a lot of times that's what happens, right? When women go into senior leadership, they start wearing the power suit and hair is tied back and everything like that.
Mentioned that.
Yeah.
That somehow feminism right now is more we hate men and we need to dress up manly.
Yeah, we've got to be in our masculine.
Yeah. But which is wrong. Which is not how it's not black and white. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that doing that for me would have just been my demise because I wouldn't have been comfortable nor confident in that. It's not me. It's not who I am. So I decided really early on that I wasn't going to change a lot about myself. I wasn't going to be more aggressive. I wasn't going to be like, no, now you listen to me. I was going to stay very true to myself because I think people respond a lot to confidence. And I think people respond a lot to when someone, you can see it. When someone is comfortable in themselves and they feel so strongly about what they say, you don't actually have to deliver that message in a strong way, right?
Very true.
It is so attractive when you see a person being confident and you want to dive into whatever is happening. And I think you're really doing such a great job right now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's the place where we will sometimes bully each other but also give compliments.
It's good for the little girls who are seeing that too.
I think it's so
because
important.
we were saying that we have this conception that for a woman to be powerful, to be strong, they have to act a certain way. But it's good that they see that, no, you can be girly, soft, feminine, and still strong.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
I think that is strength, actually. I think that people really underestimate what it is to be feminine and how much, I don't want to say plotting exactly that goes behind it, but there is a lot of thought, right? There is a lot of quiet moments and thinking deeply, just like public speaking is a skill, right? I think it's a skill to be feminine and it's a privilege as well. Not everyone gets to be, right?
No.
And a lot of people, because it's sometimes looked down on, right?
What do you think when you got the position? Do you think there were competition or jealousy around other women?
I'm not sure because I didn't really let myself be exposed to it. I hope not, is what I'm going to say. I'm going to hope not. But I can say there definitely was this overwhelming feeling of, okay, we're watching. Let's see. What's this? Basically, it kind of felt like, why this little girl?
I was excited to see a young team actually managing and leading because sometimes that's a fresh change that you need.
For sure. I don't want to say that youth is a weakness, but there is a lack of experience there that is undeniable, right? I've been around for less time. I can't change that, right?
But I think actually, for me, that was so logical. You knew almost every single student and everyone, all the teachers, what are the strengths, weakness, and so on. So for me, that was logical. You know what I'm just thinking? We also talked about that earlier. Why is it always portrayed that if one girl gets a bit more success or gets a bit more popular in a way, why it always has to be that, oh, others are jealous?
Yeah.
And coming from a girls' school, I think you would have
For sure.
plenty of
Girls'
experience.
school was, wow, what a life lesson, I have to say. I think also the other thing, a lot of women who, when they are promoted and stuff, They'll start saying things like, oh, it's pretty privilege, or oh, something even worse than that. Say that, you know,
Wilder.
yeah, exactly.
How you
Wilder
get
insinuations,
there.
how you got there. It's all about connections, this, that. And they try to lower you and make you less than what you are. That upsets me, I have to be honest, because nobody says that about men, right?
And usually these kinds of things come from women,
Yes.
which makes it worse.
Yeah.
That's what I really don't understand, because for me it's like, I don't think it's really gender thing. I think
Yeah.
it's mainly if the person is not happy with what he or she is at now, then it starts there.
Yeah. And it could also be a thing of like, I don't doubt women, they've got it really, really tough, especially in the workplace. It is really hard to claw your way. You really have to fight for something if you want it, because you are more easily dismissed. I won't say automatically dismissed, but people will more easily dismiss you. And perhaps it's because those women were dismissed early on, right? And so they see it almost as this impossibility. It has to be something else. And that's just such a shame, actually. It is such a shame. If you've gone through that, I'm sorry. It's terrible, right?
But I think times are changing. Have you seen the Winter Olympics?
Yeah.
Especially for figure skating. I love it.
I'm obsessed.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Stunning.
And they were supporting each other. Even when one of the girls were, I think, crying, she was upset that her position was taken. Those other girls were shielding her from the camera, basically.
Yeah. Women protecting women.
It's International Women's Day.
Best day ever.
Yeah. In Slavic world, in Eastern Europe, it is very much, here are your flowers, you are the flower. At least it was when I was growing up. You are the flower of our life. Thank you very much for being so beautiful. Minimizing the meaning of the day. Luckily, it is changing now. Even in Eastern Europe, people are like, no, actually, it's not about giving you flowers. It is about for who you are and what you've achieved. What do you think? Do you celebrate that? Do you expect flowers?
I do.
It has nothing to do with the International Day.
I expect flowers for many occasions, including this one. Whether or not I get them is a different story. I think, of course, flowers are lovely and everything, but like you said, the essence of this holiday,
The meaning
you
behind.
kind of have to look at the origins of it. It was kind of, in a way, celebrating women in the workforce specifically, right? But weirdly, and I think strangely, it's turned into this weird mishmash of Valentine's Day and Mother's Day.
Commercialization.
It's commercialization, but then sometimes I've seen people celebrate it where they like send mom out for the day, go hang out with your friends, and then the dad cooks and cleans and things like that. And I just think that's like bizarre.
It has to be every day like that.
Exactly. I'm like, do it every day.
Yeah.
And they're always talking about, oh, it was so hard. It's so difficult. I really appreciate women. Is that it? That's why you appreciate them, because they cook and clean for you? I think that it's been a bit warped in that way, but I think it's nice.
It's a start.
It's a start. I'm not going to put it down. I hope mom has her great day out, you know?
Yeah. She deserves that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you go out on Women's Day here, have you ever gone out March 8th here?
We went out on Valentine's Day and it was
Wow.
flowers everywhere.
It's a big deal in Mongolia. Women's Day is a big deal here. Very big deal. If it's on the weekday, you get the day off. It's like a public holiday.
Is it a weekday this
It's
year?
it's on the weekend this year, unfortunately.
But in Ukraine, that would be a national
Yeah,
holiday.
it's a national holiday. You get the day off. It's great. It has happened once when I've been here, but then it was always done on the weekend.
It's never so seriously observed in Malaysia.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Dubai as well, and in the US, it's not a
It's
thing
not a
at
thing.
all.
Yeah.
I wish.
And
but
flowers are not a thing either.
no,
True.
it's just not. It's like one of those days, like National Pancake Day. You know, like oh, it's Pancake Day. Oh, it's Women's Day.
I think the reason why mainly it's like in Europe and also Russia, it's such a big thing because it started kind of there, right? It started
Yeah.
with Rosa Luxemburg and Clara Zetkin, I think. So it would naturally make sense, but since childhood, I notice how it has a shift right now, and like also in US now, International Women's Day. Yes, let's celebrate women, but it doesn't mean we have to hate men.
It's about celebrating and being proud to be a woman and everything like that, not necessarily the victimhood that comes along with it, you know, and like feeling sorry for ourselves and feeling angry because, like you said, it's a celebration. It's supposed to be that way, and people can take it the other way. And
You know what's very distracting? I just noticed that both of you have little hearts on your nails. It was a Valentine's theme.
they're, you know, don't look too close. It's not pretty right now. I've got a nail appointment, I swear. But yeah, it was for Valentine's Day.
When I was doing my nails last week, I showed her the design. She was like, sure?
We have the same nail, girl.
Yay, same, like a drug dealer.
Exactly.
And then she was like, really? Hearts? I was like, yeah,
At this time.
I don't care. Hearts.
Yes, that's
We
a
lost track.
privilege.
Yeah.
Okay? Being a girl,
But
we can do that.
It's awesome, right?
Some men also do it. I mean, Harry Styles, Lenny Kravitz. Some men really not scared to show feminine side of it.
Yeah.
So some do nails too. It depends whether we judge or not.
I have a friend that does his nails, but like always very low key. Same salon, actually. And they love having him there too. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's a bit harder for them too. I think we can acknowledge that. It's not exactly easy for men to be feminine, even if they want to be.
They
right?
they are judged
They
by
are,
each
they
other,
are,
so they feel
yes.
this need to hide it. But yeah,
But
well,
the judgment comes from each other. It's
Yeah.
not us.
but hey, our students are pretty emotional. I find the boys to be more emotional than the girls
Oh my
nowadays.
god.
And it's a change.
For sure.
In my class as well, it's always boys who will cry. I never
Yeah.
had a single girl crying this year.
It's because they've got big feelings and they're not taught what to do with them, you know? And it's hard to watch actually. And I don't think it's exactly right that they're not taught that it's okay to cry, and then the fact that they're crying upsets them more, you know?
I
And
think
they
they're
freak
stuck.
out.
They're stuck in between this weird period of, you know,
Yeah.
parents sort of know that it's okay to be sensitive and emotional as a boy, but at the same time, they were raised with this mindset that they should be strong. So
Right.
then they would tell their children it's okay to show feelings, but they've never been taught how to manage it.
And then it's like still instinct sometimes. I have to catch myself telling them things like stop crying or don't cry. Why are you crying? Things like that. You really shouldn't say things like
Yeah.
that, especially to boys. I think it can be harmful because we don't really say that to girls that cry, right? Usually when girls cry, like, oh, it's okay. And are you all right? And do you need a tissue? Whereas it's like sometimes people's instinct to tell a boy is stop crying. Why
and
are
it's
you
not
crying?
nice to watch. It's
No,
horrible
no,
to
it's
watch.
very hard to watch. And I think it's instilled in everyone. We have to unlearn it. Boys can cry. Please cry.
You know the song "Boys Don't Cry but Cure," so do cry, please.
Do you
Should
like
say.
me to make you cry?
Well, she's the principal. She can be.
I could do it.
sometimes.
I could do it if you need me to.
You know, I heard you once when I was going to printing. It was the end of term in December. I was sitting like this in the bench in the corridor. There were 4 boys standing around, and she was like, "How many times?" And she was like really raising her voice, and I was like, "Ooh, girl is girling." So sometimes we make people cry, probably.
Exactly. It's good. It's a release, right?
Yeah, that's an educational moment.
And maybe it's like a memorable moment for them.
Yeah, true.
No,
true.
I don't like making children cry. Can I just say that from now? But
they can make us
end of
cry.
term, sometimes I do raise my voice. So I'm not
Sometimes it's
shouting.
needed.
Exactly. I just need
Pretty
them to
sure those
realize
were
it,
needed.
alert it. Oh, that was needed.
Those were
That was more than needed.
And I think with that, Tema, do you have any concluding remarks or anything you would like to add?
Yes, I have 3. Number 1, I want to say take care of the women in your life, and they will take care of you.
True.
Women are so reciprocal in every way, right? All bad that you send that way, you will receive back tenfold. Exactly. And definitely. And this goes for women and men, right? Women take care of each other. We have to support each other. We have to be there for each other. I think that's so important. Find your circle of very close girlfriends and you'll feel invincible, you know?
Sure.
I think that's so important. And then the other thing is don't be afraid to be you. Being a woman, I think, especially as a child, sometimes it's almost, I don't know if it was the case for you guys, but there was this thing of being a girly girl was like disgusting almost, right? Like, oh, you're too girly, and being a tomboy was cool, and boys really like girls that were like,
can't be too
exactly, you can't be either way, but it was like better to be sporty and cool and everything like that. That was a very desirable trait, whereas I actually think the opposite. I think be you, be yourself, like all of those things that you like. You can wear pink and have your nails done, and you can have it all, is kind of the point I'm getting to. Women, we can have it all, we can do it all, and maybe a little bit better, but don't be afraid to be that. Sit with who you are, and whatever that looks like. Maybe you don't like pink and hearts, but if you do, enjoy it, and if you don't, also enjoy that. That's my closing remark there. Don't be afraid to be a woman. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, you're lucky. Be a woman, be amazing, be yourself. And I think you'll get far.
You can be anything that you want.
Exactly.
Okay.
On that note,
Homework.
Okay.
This is Unmarked. Welcome to our homework section. Miss Tama has prepared homework for you today.
Very important homework. So I invite you all to please go watch the first season, but the second season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Because, first of all, what a show. I know it may sound bizarre, but when you watch it, you will understand, because the women in that show are incredibly, number one, entertaining, but interesting. It is my favorite show, so please go watch it and enjoy.
Can you binge watch it? Like, you don't want to stop it?
Oh, yeah. It's one of those shows. It's a reality show, and I know some people don't like reality TV, but
I think people usually say, oh, reality show, but everyone watches it. Come
Exactly.
on.
Don't look down on it.
Love is
Don't look
Blind.
down-
Who haven't seen that?
Exactly. Oh my god. The drama of it all.
I'm like, who haven't seen? And then Carol.
I have not seen it.
what? Not even the first season?
Yeah, no.
Whoa.
But do you know the concept?
I think so.
Okay.
I think I've heard. Yeah.
Love is Blind. Anyways, okay. That is something to watch. Do we have anything to listen to this week?
I do have a favorite song right now.
Let's go.
It's called This Must Be the Place. It's kind of one of those like late 80s songs. It's like got like an upbeat vibe.
I do have. That's the song that I love, and it's so feminine. You know the song "I Am a Woman." I don't know the singer. Oh my god, this is embarrassing right now. But you know the song. Well, I won't be singing it. So that's the song "I Am the Woman." I forgot the singer. I'm so sorry. It is such a girlish song. But yeah. Okay, Miss Carol, do you have anything for sharing this week?
No.
No spicy details?
No spicy details. It's been a very busy week. Every day I go home. I just crash. I can't even stand music with lyrics in them.
Oh, it's just too
like
much, right?
instruments. So yeah.
Okay. So I think on that note, that was Nika.
And Carol.
And Tama.
And that was
Unmarked.